What's going on, you guys? It's about to rain, you guys. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like gray, cloudy. Makes the shark gray metallic on the cars stand out. It really makes it pop. I really enjoy the way color on cars look with a cloudy overcast. But anyways, you guys, today what I want to talk to you about is the top 5 modifications you should do to your Corvette, whether it be a base Corvette or the Corvette Z06. But for right now, I have the Corvette Z06 with me, so we're going to focus on the top 5 modifications that involve Corvettes, but they're probably going to be more geared towards the Z06. The first modification on this list, you guys, is a short throw shifter. Here we have the MGW flat crank shifter, you guys. As you can tell, you have a different crank here as opposed to the stock look where it covers the most of the crank and all you get to see is pretty much the knob. Now we could have gone with the stock look with the stock knob, or we could have gone with the stock look and the white cue ball looking knob. But here we have the MGW, like I said, flat crank shift, short throw shifter. As you guys can see, it requires more effort to get it in the sideways lateral movement, but when you roll through the gears, you can tell significantly that this short throw has such a shallow depth as opposed to the stock shifter. So right now, everyone that has a Corvette is watching and they're like, well, is it even worth the money? I'm gonna tell you right now, this short throw shifter probably should have been my first mod to this car. I can tell you right now that the stock Corvette shifter is very soft and you can throw it in that lateral movement just crazy. I got into the bad habit of moving that lateral movement every time I was in neutral, and it may or may not be good for the transmission. I don't even think it does anything at all. If anything, this short throw shifter, you have to definitely give it more force to actually move it, but the feeling of actually putting it into gear is just butter smooth. When you put it into gear, I mean, it just clicks, you know. It's like a bolt action rifle. It just clicks into gear. Third, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and this is seventh, and then this is going to be reverse. But you guys can tell, just look how far it moves. I mean, that's quick. I'm barely sneezing on this thing. The next modification that you guys should do to your Corvette, and it's totally free, just takes about 30 minutes of your time, a pair of jack stands, a jack, and maybe a couple of beers, is to lower your car on stock bolts. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, or if you guys haven't run into it, it's a pretty old video. I'll show you guys that it's pretty simple to lower the car. It's a bolt at each wheel. The way you lower the car is you just turn the bolt and it lowers the car on stock bolts. Basically, you get about, I'd say, half an inch lower, maybe a quarter inch lower, and it's completely free. The only thing is you might run into scraping that little fin right there, the air dams, but other than that, that's all that really scrapes. The side skirts are fine. I haven't scraped those at all. But before, we used to get about all 4 fingers into this right here. Now we can only get 3 of mine. I have pretty skinny fingers, by the way. This is probably only like an inch and a quarter of clearance right now. Now everybody always asks how to make my Corvette louder, or what can I do to make it more throaty, and that answer is to put a Borla off-road X-pipe. The Borla off-road X-pipe is cheaper than the Corsa, but the Corsa has that double helix, whatever, it's 2 X-pipes in one. But honestly, all you need is the Borla. It's cheaper and it sounds just as good. Honestly, the Corsa is gonna smooth the tones down more. In my opinion, you guys, the Corsa double helix X-pipe is gonna make your exhaust sound a little bit smoother, and it's also going to make it tone down a bit. So it's gonna be just a smooth sounding exhaust note. With the off-roading X-pipe, you guys, basically what you're doing is you're removing the 2 rear cats. You're not going to throw a check engine light code because the 2 rear cats are not monitored, and you should still pass inspection when it comes to inspecting the car. I have not had an issue inspecting this car, although actually I haven't even had to get it inspected, so we'll find out. But you should still pass because the check engine light doesn't turn on, it doesn't throw codes, and it doesn't know because it doesn't monitor those cats. So basically, this off-roading X-pipe, whether you go with Borla or Corsa, removes those 2 rear cats, and it's gonna make the sound of the car so much louder. I can tell you right now, I think having the off-road X-pipe, initially I was like, yeah, I can hear the exhaust note, but now I think the exhaust just gets louder with time. So yeah, you're gonna get a little bit louder with the stock setup, but removing those 2 cats, they act as mufflers, they act as pre-mufflers, and it's going to enable your car to just sound just way louder. So I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on this, but the next top modification that you can do to your Corvette Z06 is put an intake on it. This is the AFE dry filter in here, although I do also have the oiled filter, which is going to allow some more air through the filter, but I just didn't want to have to deal with oiling it up. I wanted to test the dry filter first. But the next mod you guys should do to your Corvette Z06 is throw an intake on it. It's going to make the stock blower whine just slightly more, and it's going to sound amazing. For the most part, the intakes don't do a whole lot, but with a blower on the car, you're going to enable the blower to suck in more air, theoretically putting out more boost. So technically the car does not have a tune, but dyno results for the Corvette Z06 with an intake only do show you about 10 horsepower to the wheel increase, 10-15 horsepower, and that's untuned. And that's pretty common actually. I know there's guys that are getting like 30 with a tune, 45 with a tune. Just with an intake and tune, that's amazing, honestly. And these intakes have bigger filters on them, so you're going to be sucking in more air, and overall just the reaction time of these intakes is a little bit better than just stock. So right now I don't have them on, but the next modification on this list that you guys need to do to your Corvette Z06, or your Corvette for that matter, is put some drag radials on there. Honestly, you guys, I have the 19-inch by 12-inch from NorCal SS on the forums, and honestly, it's probably been the best modification that I've done to this car. I know I say that about all of the stuff that I do to my car. I'm a firm believer in putting quality parts on this car, and one of the biggest modifications you can do to just take your car to the next level is put some drag radials on there. 345 by 30 on 19s is going to make your car just hook. Tires are going to give you capabilities that you couldn't believe. Honestly, tires go a long way, and having those drag radials are gonna make you just stick, and you're gonna pull bus lengths on all sorts of cars that you couldn't before, because spinning ain't winning. Those were the top 5 modifications, you guys, that I think you should do to your Corvette Z06. I hope you guys liked this video. Every mod that I've done to this car, like I said, was done with taste in mind. I don't mod my car, and I try not to mod my car in ways that I think are going to negatively affect it, because I've done that before. We've all been there, we've all messed up a car, and I don't want to be that guy that messes up this car, especially because how much I really enjoy this car, and I do everything with the drive in mind. Everything that I've done to this car has been with the thought process of, is this going to make me enjoy the car, driving it even more? And a lot of you guys that are new to the channel, I do drive this car every day, so I don't want to do things that are going to take it to the extremes of where I can't drive it every day. But one of the things I'll make an exception for is getting this car to 1,000 horsepower. So if you guys want to see that happen, please consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a comment down below, let me know that you're new to the channel. My name is Z06 Juan, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to stay focused, stay motivated, and stay positive. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Fist pump.